Alright, you guys, it is 2 a.m. in the morning. I do apologize for the sound of my voice, but I want to do a brief demonstration of what I'm going to be looking into when I do the finances and career charts, and I'm going to use my own chart. So let's try to blow this up, shall we? First and foremost, I like to go in the chart. Let me backtrack and start by saying what I'll need in order to get the most accurate information. I will need your birth date, the city and state. If you're from a different country, then I'll need, all that information. I will also need your birth time. That is the biggest, most important detail. If you can get that from your birth certificate or you remember it, that would be much appreciated. That will get the most accurate reading, okay? However, I can do this even without it, but I'm telling you now, the accuracy may not be totally there, okay? Especially for one of the aspects that I'll mention a little bit later, called the part of fortune and even the midheaven. All right, moving on. So, I'm going to look in the second house, which it should be showing on your screen. I am going to look at your Mars placement because Mars talks about how we go after the things that we desire. I'll look at the sixth house. I'll look for your north node. I'll look at the 10th house, and then I will be looking at that part of fortune increase, which I don't know if you can see it, but it's right up in here with the little circle with the cross. Okay, here it is right here. Hopefully you guys are seeing it. All right, now I'm gonna give a little bit of insight from, okay, so my Pluto in the second house, right? The second house definitely talks about the things that we own, what we have, what we possess already. And also how this is a way that we can make money, okay? So with my Pluto being in Scorpio, that's more like a generational planet, if my memory serves me correctly. So that's not that really talks about the year that I was born. And it talks about a range of years. So people born in this generation will have similar characteristics like I'm about to mention. And I'm just going to try to go fast. But what I've noticed about Plutonian Scorpios is that we are a generation that is not afraid to research and look into things, depending on what moves us, okay? We are about change. We are about reformation and transformation. We can also borderline be obsessive in our research. Okay. Also, this generation may find that when it comes to and especially with this in the second house, you may find that you actually do well in regards to other people's money. So you may gain wealth sometimes through things like being a financial analyst or researcher, something where you have to pay attention to detail and be very obsessive in a way. Also, what else do I get with this placement? I also find that people who have Pluto and Scorpio may tend, especially in the second house, you may have, you may make money dealing with things that are supernatural. Okay, researching the supernatural, or the unseen, which is like what I'm doing now with the natal chart. Also, I feel that these people may be mediums in the sense that they may hear from the underworld. Okay, moving on. All right, so with my planet here in the sixth house, my Jupiter being in Pisces, it looks like whatever work that I do, It's going to be characterized by the Piscean energy. So it could be creative work. Um, it could also be the healing arts, which creative work can be healing. It just depends. Watery signs always give me psychic abilities, okay? So I do want to go back to the Pluto and Scorpio. I feel like, psychic work might be, or your psychic abilities could be a way that you make money as well, especially if your Pluto is in the second house. Moving on. So with the Jupiter and Pisces, you are gonna like work that you do every day and to make ends meet and stuff. You're gonna like to be able to assist people. Like that's gonna be a really big thing for you. You are self-sacrificing a lot of times, or you're just selfless. Like you don't mind kind of going the extra mile for people. So the way that with Jupiter being the planet of expansion and abundance, this in my chart, the type of work that I would do, whatever it is, I need to be able to be kind and compassionate. I need to be able to be of some type of healing balm to other people, and that's how I'm going to gain abundance, which doesn't necessarily have to just be money. It could even be divine connections, right? But the point is, it's gonna come through me being of service to people, really being, just going out of my way to help people, even if it may be to my own detriment sometimes, but it's a blessing. Okay. So that's the type of work I could do. I could be in the healthcare industry with that. I could be in psychological industries with that. And like I said, creative even. That could be music, that could be the performing arts. And it can be other just healing modalities. Like this is like, to me, this would be the energy of, I'm hearing Mother Teresa, but like a servant, okay? A servant of the people, okay? A priest or a priestess here. Moving on. In my seventh house is where my north node is, and the north node is going to be this sign right here. Someone said that it looks like a set of headphones. So I think that's true. So I'll use that. But your north node deals with your purpose this lifetime. If you believe in reincarnation, this is going to be the lesson that you have to really strive to learn this lifetime. If you don't believe in it, you can just see it as you've already been through plenty of cycles. You've already learned a lot of lessons, and this lesson, this time that you're on, that you're going to be focusing on now, is what the North Node may represent. So, with it being in Aries, for me, Aries is a planet of self sufficiency. Not a planet, I'm sorry. It's a zodiac sign of self sufficiency. It's a self starting sign, very independent a lot of times. And when I think about independence, it just means they make decisions for themselves. They're about self first, okay? It's me first here. So, with this being in my seventh house, when it comes to partnerships of all sorts, be it business, family, or romantic, as in marriage and committed partnerships, my lesson, my destiny this time is going to have something to do with speaking up for myself, my wants, and my needs. And that is because over here in my first house, my south node, which is this symbol here, that is in Libra. And with Libra, Librans tend to be all about, the partnership. So they may sacrifice things that they want to do for the greater good of the partnership, you see. So it's easy for a Libra to kind of get lost in the sauce in a relationship. And it's not even a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing to devote yourself to the union. But that was what I learned how to do in my last incarnation, or that's something that it's not hard for me to do that now. I and that's the truth. I love working with partners. I love being a part of a group sometimes. And I can sometimes go for that over working by myself or working alone, even if it may be better for me to do so. With Libras, when it comes to relationships, they also tend to just want to do whatever is going to be harmonious for the union. So they don't want to really rock the boat too much or upset anything. So if their desire may counter their partners and it's stirring up too much trouble in the connection, they may be prone to just like, okay, whatever, and cave or give in to the partner or what have you, just to remain in the connection. So in my North Node, what I feel like my learning lesson and is going to be speaking up for myself no matter what, even if that may mean dissolving a partnership or dissolving a relationship. So the way that I factor that into the way that I might be able to make a living is through relationships and channeling that into my next aspect, which I'm moving on to now. So in my 10th house, the 10th house is the house of recognition, of fame, legacy, reputation, things like that, right? What you want to be known for, what you will be known for. Excuse me. So in my 10th house, let me see if I can't make it any bigger. My 10th house is ruled by the sign of Cancer. Cancer is the motherly sign. It's the sign that's most notable with being connected to the divine feminine. Okay, women's issues right here. Okay, this is going to be also, this is going to be strongly connected to intuition, which is a feminine principle, and also to home life, security and stability in the home, roots, feelings, right? Feelings of all sorts. So it's also connected to family. So in connection to my North Node, I would say that it's very possible that part of my work that is going to be very deeply fulfilling to my soul will be in regards to women's issues, maybe with moms, wives, or even girls, right? And young adult women who aren't yet wives. And, I may really be an advocate for teaching them to learn about themselves first, right? Learn about what you want, what you desire, so that you can bring even that much more to your relationships, so that you can have an air of interdependence. And interdependence is like two independent people who choose to, work together and stuff like that. So rather than codependency, which may leave one partner shit kind of out to dry, right? So this could be a way that my North Node and my Midheaven work together. Now, moving on, so that this won't be too lengthy, my Sun and my Moon are in the 11th house. So, and they're in the sign of Leo, which is the sign of the performing arts, creativity, and things of that nature, children as well. In the 11th house, this talks about social issues, social justice to me, the collective, right? So this may be the way that I express my midheaven. I may say that all of this that I'm talking about in the midheaven, women knowing themselves, knowing what they want, and the men who love them and care about them and like them, allowing or giving space and room for the woman to speak up for herself and do what she needs to do. That might be for the greater good of humanity and mankind and, families in general. This might be a part of my platform. Also, social media, politics could be notable here with this placement. Social justice and reform. Okay. Also, the way that I may make money could be through inheritances, through maybe my relationships, be it friendships or even marriages. Let me see. What else can I think of? organizations, nonprofits, or even businesses could lend to my wealth at some point as well, with my sun and moon being in the 11th house. Okay, and last but not least, moving to the part of fortune, which is this symbol here, and it's in my 12th house. The 12th house deals with what we can't see so clearly, right? So this to me is a hidden aspect in my own life. And the part of fortune is already also something that's not all talked about very often. It's not one of the mainstream things that you talk about in astrology, but it can be a very powerful insight in how you can make money easily, and it's all in alignment with your soul's purpose and all that good stuff, right? So this is going to be where you might experience the path of least resistance when it comes to your purpose as well as how you make money, how you make a living. So for me, my part of fortune is in Libra, in my 12th house. So this is probably something that I don't even notice right away. And I wouldn't have if I didn't know to look into this aspect. So Libra deals with, again, relationships. Yes, it can be the sign of the diplomat, the politician, even a communicator, an artist in some way, shape, or form as well. So I feel like public speaking could be a way that I easily make money. My looks, my beauty, whatever it may come from, it's there. It's there. I could also make a living when it comes to beautifying spaces. I also forgot to mention that Cancer rules the home. So real estate could also be a way that I make money, right? So I could go into that by in so many different ways with this part of fortune in Libra. The Libran influence or the Venus influence can lend itself to my real estate by interior design, right? If I didn't want to be an actual realtor, I may desire to make the place beautiful. Or maybe I could be the person who writes about the properties or takes pictures of the properties or stages these things, something like that, right? Also, like I did mention politics, right? And I also want to talk about justice as well here. Law or paralegal might be something that I might be fond of and find that I could be really, really good at with this placement as well. What else? But I think, with all the other placements that I have, like my Leo placements, which also deals with romance and romantic flings and relationships, I really get overall that a lot of my my work career wise really is going to deal with relationships, right? And really helping people to stand up for themselves, especially women, to stand up for themselves in their relationships and to speak up for what it is that they desire and what they need. And the men who like and love them to respect that and allow them to have that. Now, it just so happens, right, that from my knowledge, and I'm going to end on this note, I'm noticing that there are so many more men who are wanting women who are actually really independent. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say that there aren't men who want their women to just kind of go along with what they got going on, but so many more men are really desirous of a woman who knows what she wants and who goes after that and has confidence there. And not to mention, it's just a wise decision for women in general to know what they want, to go after things rather than waiting on their significant others or husbands to provide those things for them, because there's no quicker way to lose oneself and also really and truly to become unattractive to certain men than a woman who kind of doesn't have an identity, if you will, of her own. Like, as much as some men might just say that they want a woman to kind of just go with them and be just like them, they will get bored so easily. They don't really know that that's not true for them. So at any rate, I'm going to end this video here. I hope and pray that something that was said makes some sense. This was just me trying to kind of breeze through and going off the top of my head. I obviously will hopefully have more time with each of you guys' readings, but this was my stab at the finance and career reading using my own natal chart. Peace, love, light, and darkness, which all work together to bring balance and harmony. This is Autochthonous Aries, the pretty coach, the pretty prophetess, and the pretty preacher signing off. If you'd like to book your own finances and career reading, you can do so a couple ways. You can go to prettycoachoracles.com and you can select the general reading, and in the notes section you'll just need to state that this is for the finances and career reading. Or if you are following me on Facebook at Judé Ivy, it could be either one of those profiles, it doesn't matter. You can comment on my wall and let me know that you're interested in the finances and career reading, or of course inbox me. And you can also Cashapp me the dollar symbol, the pretty coach. This reading will be $55. And you just let me know that you are interested in the finances and career reading. I always ask that I'm allotted at least 3 to, what do I say? A day to 3 days, if I'm not mistaken. So 24 to 24 to 72. I think I started 72 hours. But anyways, I'll ask for 3 days time basically to pass before I start any reading. You could get your reading well before that, but I do have things already going on, but I love this so much and I love doing it. So, all right, guys, I'm going to hush up now. I'm rambling. Thank you for those who made it to the end of this video. All right, bye.